Where did the fracture begin? It is the secret fans hide, ignoring the grim reality right in front of them. Zoom in. This shift isn't natural growth. It is a targeted hit. A con job disguised as liberation. Labels claim it is autonomy, that the girls craved it, that the attitude is legit. But hear me, real power doesn't appear overnight in matching lace, cloned looks, and shots framed strictly for male eyes. That is not rising up, it is bowing down. The system scripts the skin, selling it as choice while cashing in on the lie. It is not freedom. It is a sales pitch wrapped in raw flesh. The crowd felt the whiplash instantly. First, the girls were sold as pure, royal, untouchable icons. Then, snap. The volumes spiked, clothes shrank, chaos broke out, and skin was bared. Ask why, and the gaslighting is swift. They are adults. It is their choice. You are weird for seeing it. Sounds empowering, right? But that lie masks the cruel engine of the idol world. A private outfit choice isn't the same as a global brand strategy sold for billions and precision-tuned to snag lustful stares. They weaponize the female form, turning human beings into bait for a massive starving mass. Calling out the rampant sexualization isn't about stripping idols of will, it is about refusing to accept the lie that the agency lacks the final say. Labels do not greenlight concepts for pure joy or liberty. They approve only what sells. When a look suddenly clashes with the sound, story, or the group's real vibe, it's because a suit upstairs saw the numbers dip and knew that provocation pays more than art. This isn't growth. It is monetization. Turning eyes to stats, stats to cash, and cash to clout. It is the cold logic of selling young bodies. The tension isn't about the fabric. It is the sick intent. When a look is built to hook men who hate the tracks, you have to ask, who is this for? Pull that thread, and the myth unspools. If this chat makes you edgy, that is why we must have it. Stay close. We are just peeling the layer. To see the raw, ugly truth of how this snare traps K-pop, you need to hit subscribe, follow now, and don't blink. The rabbit hole goes deeper, and I am taking you all the way down. Trust me, you do not want to miss all that is coming. Push back, and the story spins. Suddenly, questioning the style makes you a prude, a tyrant, or an enemy of girl power. That label is a weapon, it ends the argument instantly. It flips a systemic problem into your personal flaw. Instead of asking why the images are thirstier, cheaper, and desperate for clicks, you are forced to doubt your own mind. It is a snare, a calculated scam to silence you. That is how they neuter the truth. They paint you as the villain just for flagging exploitation. The scam works in K-pop because fans are wired to guard their idols like Secret Service agents. Love morphs into total blindness. To admit a label is peddling sex feels like stabbing the group in the heart, so fans grab the nearest defense. They adore this style. It is their vision. It is the future. But enjoying it doesn't erase the trap. Craving a spot in the system is not the same as controlling the system. A nudge is not a choice. Surely not when your fame, your cash, and your reputation are held hostage by suits whose bonuses rely on mining your form for viral hits. It is a gold-plated cage. We just pretend it is a throne. The industry gets fat on this chaos. It peddles the fantasy that we are witnessing raw spirit, while we are really devouring a product polished by boards, data, and pitch slides. When the gear shrinks right as the choreography gets dirtier and the lens gets intrusive, do not call it luck. Call it strategy. The target isn't the loyalists. They are secure. The fresh kill is the outsider. The viral shocks, the wild clips, the thirst traps, the never seen her but damn mob. These casuals don't need a deep bond. They only need a visual hook sharp enough to arrest their thumbs. It is predatory design crafted to harvest the stares of complete strangers. And here is the jagged pill most spit out. When a video goes live, it drops all audience filters. It does not ask who is viewing or for what dark reason. It bleeds out to the world, including those with twisted minds the fandom would rather not picture. Pretending this isn't happening isn't empowerment, it is willful ignorance. Naming this danger isn't shaming anyone, it is basic survival smarts. And the reason it is waved off is because admitting it forces you to face how much of this game runs on denial. It is a shadowy pact. This is where the age talk gets warped, since the law serves as a moral mask. Fans chant the same mantra like a spell. They are legal now, as if adulthood is a switch flipped at midnight that magically deletes power gaps, fear, and force. In reality, absolutely nothing changes between the night before the birthday and the morning after. The same executives hold the keys. The The same tight deals bind them. The same panic of being tossed aside or erased still haunts every single step. It is a legal lie covering a very real, stark vulnerability. Debuting kids in K-pop isn't an error. It is the model. Youth is marketed as pure, fresh, untouched potential. Fans are trained to see idols as infants, fragile dolls to guard, locked in time. Then, the moment the clock strikes legal, the vibe snaps into lust, heat, and grown-up games. This turn is not natural blooming. It is a trapdoor that was set from the start. The biz does not grow a conscience just because a birthday passed. The papers just get simpler, and the public outcry goes silent. It is a ruthless factory setting. The saddest part is how fast fans pivot to lawyer talk instead of art talk. When the lone defense for a risque concept is, it is legal, we have lost the plot. That isn't about creative freedom. That is about technical loopholes. And loopholes are the industry's premium fuel. If a look feels predatory at 17 but okay at 18, that should trigger a revolt, not a shrug. Yet those red flags are ignored because they force fans to confront the horror of what they are buying. It is far easier to cite the law than to check your own conscience. Real maturity isn't a date. It is power, experience, and the right to say no without vanishing. In a game where your face is the asset and refusal destroys you, freedom is a myth. So when stans cheer for adult groups as if that fixes the abuse, they are blind to the machinery that enables the abuse. Legal does not mean safe. It just means actionable. Pretending the law equals morality is how this toxic wheel keeps spinning, crushing idols while we clap. We are celebrating the paperwork, not the person. The hypocrisy glares when the outrage only wakes up after a line is obliterated. A scandal hits, a verse is too dirty, a dance moves too far, and suddenly the timeline gasps, essays drop, fake worry flows. But then, we box it up. We treat the crash as a solo error, ignoring the long, calculated road that led to the cliff. It is treated as a glitch, not a feature of a system that has been grooming the audience for years. It is safer to blast one bad moment than to dismantle the branding engine that made that moment inevitable. We hate the symptom, but we buy the disease. This blindness lets fans defend the rest as high fashion while acting morally elite. You can't scream for 5 minutes then go back to pretending the whole vibe isn't predatory. If the hype comes from sex appeal, that pulse is real even if we hush it up. The industry banks on this dissonance. It needs you to split your love for the girls from your gut sense that something is wrong with how they are sold. It relies on you loving the product while ignoring the price tag. They are betting on your cognitive dissonance. Then there is the racial weight that makes this truly gross. Specific girls are shoved into boxes the West already fetishizes. What gets sold as sass or fire tracks perfectly with stereotypes we have sexualized for ages. It is not an accident. It is branding. It is selling the foreign. When fans claim this is just evolution, not pandering, they ignore the ugly history. In this business, growth is code for a package that sells fast. They are not breaking molds. They are filling orders for a hungry market. You don't need to see idols as victims to see the trap. Awareness is not power. Being styled, shot, cut, and retailed to millions is not a hobby. It is work, hard labor. Acting like this is just vibes turns real danger into a debate club topic. The machine lives because we obsess over defending a girl's choice instead of asking why that exact choice is the only one the industry pays for, pushes, and protects. We fight wrong battles while the executives count the cash and plan the next pivot. Here is the climax. The hardest pill to swallow is the one that cures. You can love a group and still hate the machine that bleeds them dry. These truths can coexist, despite the cult mind seeking total submission. Blind loyalty doesn't shield the girls. It shields the suits. It protects a system that knows you will tear each other apart before you ever dare to look up at the puppet masters. Stop fighting soldiers. Aim for the generals. The cycle lasts because critique is branded as hate. Point out the gears turning, and you are a buzzkill or a creep. This pushback is engineered. It is how they bury the bodies. As long as we bicker about what she wanted instead of what they bought, the labels never have to confess why the sexiest shots get the biggest budget. They keep us distracted with noise while they quietly cash the checks generated by this exploitation. Listen, we have courted this train wreck. Fresh era, fresh lust, exact same deadly warning signs. They mask harm as fervor, label your panic psycho, and twist codes to crush your soul. It feels true, till you rise years hence, clear and alone, seeing those rabid eves were merely fatal errors that seem truly filthy in the stark dawning glare of truth. If we vow one goal now, let it be this: showing you that adoring a star isn't about being blind. It is about keeping your gaze sharp, clocking the fraud, and declining to get used by a sweetheart who needs you quiet to stray. Thirsty for more juice on this fatal situationship? The mind games and the gross scandals buried off stage? Then smash that sub button, click like, pour your own drama down below, and don't ghost us. Because believe me, this trashy split is just getting started.